So the next piece is how to decrease or regulate a challenging emotion, or downregulate a challenging emotion, or upregulate a positive emotion. So let's focus first on downregulation. Uh, Taking a person, using, for example, which we've already done a little bit with, the person who is anxious, and they recognize that they feel fear by an increase in their heart rate, and they have recognized, and shallow breathing. They have developed the skill to stay grounded and present. Now I'll ask them, what percent of the fear would you like to get rid of? Most people say 100%, and I point out that's not a good idea, because then they won't be afraid of getting a ticket again by speeding. So I say you can have anything up to 99%. And they'll pick 90, 95, which is fine. And then I'll always suggest this. People can change it later, but let's just work with a sink disposal. Most people are familiar with that. So I will say to the client, be in that scene where the police officer stopped you. Be aware of the increased heart rate and shallow breathing that tells you you're feeling fear. Recall that signaled you to scrunch your feet in the sand. Recall that you could feel the heaviness in your lower legs and thighs, that tells you you're grounded and present, and that you could hold that. You could stay grounded and present while you were feeling fear. You could hold the two sets of emotions. Now, I ask the client, please form the intention, the thought, that 95% of the fear is going to go down the sink disposal. And reach over and turn the water on. See it run and hear it run. Good. And now flip the switch and hear the motor start up. Excellent. And now just watch as the shallowness of your breathing begins to leave your lungs, moving towards the sink, washed down, washed away. And as it's leaving your lungs, take a deep breath and let it fill that space where the shallow breathing is leaving. Good. And another. Good. And now notice as the rapid heart rate begins to leave your heart, moving towards the sink, wash down. Good. And now take a deep breath and let it go into your heart where the rapid heart rate is leaving. And just notice as that life-giving breath fills the space that is being vacated by the rapid heart rate, that your heart rate now is slowing down. Good. Good. And just watch as it leaves, watch as it leaves, the sensations are leaving, and let me know when all 90%, 95% has left your body. And the clients always hold up their finger. Good. Now I ask the client, please repeat after me. I am learning to decrease my fear. The client repeats that. I am learning to decrease my fear. At this point, I will ask the client to say to me, John, I felt afraid when the police officer, and this is such an important part of emotion, what I call affect-centered communication, because we humans are relational organisms. And so I will ask the client to say to me, John, I felt afraid when the police officer pulled me over. And then I will say to the client, I totally hear that you felt afraid when the police officer pulled you over. Do you feel heard? And the client will say, yes, I do. And I'll ask, well, how is that for you? I find out so much then, because many people, because they don't have these skills, they don't get to share this. They don't get to communicate about emotions with somebody else. And so I try and help them. Tell your partner, tell your husband, tell your wife, what I really need from you right now is to just hear me say, I felt afraid when the police officer pulled me over. Or I felt afraid when didn't get a call from our son after the big dance at school, or anything like that. It's just the basis of emotional basis of communication. Thanks.